Issue 3, the career and contribution talk. Here's the goal. Plan for career shifts, family plans, and economic roles with your eyes wide open. Look, while you're just starting out, things might be easy. You each have a job, decent income, maybe an apartment, and money may be decently freely available to spend. So it may not be an issue. Or maybe it's not. Maybe the two of you are living in one of your parents' basements while one of you is looking for a job. But little do you realize that 5 years from now, one or both of you will make it big. Either way, one thing is for sure. Life will change. And you really have to discuss what your attitude is regarding typical life changes. For example, do you both expect to work full-time, long-term? What are your career dreams? Working to get to the top of the ladder? Working for 5 years, then opening up a yoga studio? Retiring at age 50? Working till the day you die? Listen, I was a child of the 80s. My thoughts as a 20-something was I wanted to work hard, make millions, then become a real estate mogul. But life was different then. And in truth, part of me never wanted our marriage and lives to be dependent on me working forever. I wanted to work because I wanted to, not because we needed the money. Where do the two of you fall in? How long you'll work is not the only consideration. Do either of you envision going back to school, changing careers, moving away from where you're presently living? Don't keep your secret desires quiet. If you truly dream of doing something someday, let your partner know so you can plan for it. If you don't plan for it, it probably won't happen. But if you do, you can plan towards it, which will make all the difference. And you'll be doing it together. If one person pauses or scales back for family, health, or relocation, how will the other support them financially and or emotionally? Again, remember, you two are in this together. One of you gets laid off. Will the other pull up the slack? Crunch down on expenses and make sure you both get through it? Or will that partner harp at you just to take a job, any job, to pay the bills? If either owns a business, what are the boundaries between our money and business money? Is a spouse's help in any way welcomed or actually frowned upon? Look, this is deeply personal. Some of the most successful business teams out there are husband and wife. Look, my ex had his own law firm and was making small potatoes until I joined him and turned it into a thriving practice. We were opposites, and it made for a magical team until it didn't. But it had nothing to do with working together. What does success look like for each of you in 10 years, 20 years from now? Does your partner's version fit into yours? This is a big one. You two really need to be working towards the same goal. And I really mean set of goals. Ones that consider what both of you want in life. My ex was big on obtaining the signs of success. Big house, vacation homes, first-class travel, fancy restaurants, fancy cars, even a limo with a chauffeur. Me, I liked nice things, but relished comfort and security more. The signs of success cost a lot to maintain, and paying for all that stuff undoubtedly takes away from really feeling financially secure, in most cases. So talk about these things, and if necessary, you'll stick provisions to cover them in your prenup too. Not after 5 years we agreed to move to the burbs provision, but in the event one party desires to take a break from their present position provision. What people don't realize is that except for custody and child support, you can include most provisions in a prenup. And if they are important to you, maybe you should. And by the way, only a real attorney with real experience in prenups and divorces can tell you whether it's advisable to do so. Issue 4, the family and boundaries talk. Goal: prevent outside pressures from family from undermining your marriage. Wow, this is a big one. Look, most of us did not get put on this earth in a vacuum. We came from some sort of family, and most likely they are still in our lives. Here now is this other super important person in your life, and he's got or she's got their own people too. All these people can cause a whole lot of problems if you don't head it off at the pass by discussing it before the wedding. Let's start at the beginning. What role do your parents play in your finances or decision making? Look, we get a lot of people who come into us for prenups, not because it was their idea, but it was one or both of their parents' ideas. In most cases, the parents are right, but parental involvement in decision making can involve every financial decision making of your life. I'll never forget my ex-father-in-law not pushing us to buy that new modern swanky condo I was eyeing, but rather this smelly, stinky little old home in a not so great neighborhood owned by a smelly, stinky old woman. Because as he whispered to my ex, you never know. What if she gets pregnant and you're the only one with an income? Look, parents are there to advise and give you their wisdom. But you two have to agree that the big decisions will be made by the two of you. And you need to discuss what some of those biggies will be. P.S. We got the swanky condo. And by the way, I have always worked. Suppose you have or will have a parent who needs help. Will you contribute? How much is realistic? Do either of you have exes or other children that need to be financially supported? And what do you think about it? You may be the one receiving help, not the giver. Do you expect family to give or lend money to you? And under what terms? Look, family is certainly not just about finances. Time spent with them is a big one for many couples. Holidays, traditions, and obligations, which matter most. And what can you compromise on? Weekly Sunday visits, are they expected? With friends, family, and work, when will the two of you have time for we time? What boundaries will protect your privacy and unity as a couple? Look, this is bigger than you think. I certainly won on Thanksgiving, always being with my family. But Sundays at my father-in-law's house was the norm. Not being a big football fan, except for the Steelers. Everyone in Pittsburgh was a Steelers fan when I was growing up in the mid-70s. I took up doing needlework to get through the games during the season. My kids all became great swimmers after being thrown in Grandpa's pool from the time they were young, sometimes in a really scary fashion. This is another prenup biggie. Financial gifts from parents may come with either written or unwritten conditions. Make sure you know if they do and protect yourself in writing. Issue 5, the lifestyle and planning talk. Goal, align how you actually want to live, not the Instagram version. Look, when I was first married, Saturdays meant my ex at the golf course while I was entrusted to clean our condo and have some alone time. To tell you the truth, I was fine with that. I'm a little bit of a homebody at heart. But the same guy was staying out late, night after night, treating everyone at the bar to drinks, and doing it a lot. And it suddenly dawned on me that all those generous drinks he was doling out came out of our money. Yes, his and mine. The money I planned on investing in mutual funds, buying a vacation home with, and other stuff. Again, opposites can attract, and you have to come to some agreement where to meet in the middle. What kind of home do you envision? Location, the size, ownership timeline? How do you feel about debt for lifestyle? Cars, vacations, weddings? How will you divide household labor, cleaning, planning, logistics? How important is travel experiences or saving for the future? What's one lifestyle habit you refuse to give up and one you'd compromise on? Sharing your lives means having a plan how income will be spent on that lifestyle you will have. If one of you loves to save and the other one loves to spend, if one of you lives for experience and the other one for financial cushions, if one of you thinks Amazon Prime is life and the other thinks, why are there 10 boxes on the porch? Talk about it. Look, back in the 80s, the separate bank account thing was rare. Today, we're seeing that it's become quite common. Don't plan on pooling everything in one big account and looking for a solution? A simple system that works beautifully for many couples is a joint account for the shared household expenses, and then individual accounts for personal spending, and a monthly amount each can spend, no questions asked. How the income is split up is dependent on the two of you, what you agreed to. No guilt, no judgment, no, why did you buy that? Just peace. Keep in mind, if this is your plan and things go astray, that your informal agreement won't protect you. Separate bank accounts of income earned after the marriage are not considered separate unless you have it properly executed in your prenup. So you may have saved for 10 years while your spouse didn't save a dime. But if things go sour, your savings are his too, unless there's a prenup. Issue 6, planning for your future, not just today. This is where long-term alignment matters. We're not just talking about retirement. Ask each other, do we want to buy a home? When? How do we feel about debt? Are we eliminating it or managing it? Are we investing, saving, taking risks, playing it safe? Are we planning for retirement now or later? If one of you is future focused and the other is live in the moment, neither's wrong. But you gotta meet in the middle on purpose. Here's where having a prenup can really help. Let's say one of you is willing to forego niceties to save the money for a down payment on a house, or the other can't give up monthly massages and facials. In a prenup, you can agree that the deposit will be paid back to the one who made it before a home is split in the event of divorce. but it's only going to be legally binding if it's in a proper prenup or postnup agreement. Same thing with retirement. Prenups can spell out that retirement income is separate, both before your marriage and after. The saver will be secure knowing they won't have to split it if something goes astray. Just remember, if any kind of pension plan is covered by ERISA and is involved, a prenup alone won't protect you. You're going to have to sign spousal waivers. Just remember that. Issue 7, emergency planning. Because life is unpredictable. Let's talk briefly about the things no one wants to picture. If a partner gets sick, gets injured, can't work, faces medical expenses, how do you keep your life stable? You have to plan and discuss it. They say the truth will set you free. Think about it, and trust me, sticking that extra couple $100 a month into an emergency fund will give you much more peace of mind than a fancy night out. Why? Because your credit card limit is not your money. And using credit cards for emergencies with the interest it accrues will make it very difficult to save for your future. Consider the everyday emergencies. The air conditioner breaks. You've got a huge vet bill for the dog. The basement floods. You get sued and have to pay an attorney or worse. Look, once my ex and I bought our first house, every year, and this was over 20 years ago, there was some $6,000 expense. The air conditioner went. The sump pump had to be replaced. Something with some pipe bursting or a tree falling or whatever. We needed a real emergency fund. How do you pay the bills and still have money to eat? By living within your means and having a plan. Do you have an emergency fund? Do you have a disability insurance policy for one or both of you? Do you have vet insurance? Do you have any kind of safety net at all? These aren't dramatic conversations. Life happens. Talking about them is simply about being grown-ups together. That ends part 2. Stay tuned for part 3 of The Talk. It's Shari Rivkind from BrideLawyer. Want to know more? Subscribe. Check out BrideLawyer.com and stay tuned for part 3.